In 1 Kings 19, verses 1 through to 7, we read of Elijah running away because of the threat of Jezebel. So as I look at these verses, I just want to bring out the fact that after great blessings, after great victories, comes great testing. So I'll read a few verses from 1 Kings 19, from verse 1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow, about this time. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongeth unto Judah, and left his servant there. For he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree, and he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. Here we see Elijah, a prophet of God, a mighty man of God, who had just proven to the 450 prophets of Baal, of Jezebel, that the God of Israel was the true God, undisputed, heavyweight champion. He was the true God. He proved to them on Mount Carmel when fire came down from heaven and burnt up the sacrifice that he had offered to God. Because he challenged them, and he said, The God that answers by fire is the true God. And after that great victory, he slew all those 450 prophets of Baal. And so we see here that she had now set out to destroy Elijah. She said, by tomorrow at this time, your life will be like one of those false prophets that you had killed. Elijah went for his life. He ran away because he was now fearful that Jezebel was going to take his life. After such great victory, Elijah was now a fugitive, running away for his life, and was in great fear. And the Bible said that he went a day's journey into the wilderness, that is, into the desert. And there he came to Mount Sinai, which is also called Mount Horeb. He went and he sat under a juniper tree and asked God to take his life. We must be very careful that after we have preached a good message, after we have performed miracles for God, after we have had great victories for God, that the juniper tree experience will always come into reality. After great victory, Elijah experienced great testing. And it is so It is a reality in our lives as Christians that when we do something great for God, we must be on the lookout. We must be watchful. We must be vigilant, because that is the time when the enemy chooses to attack us. After great victories comes great testings. The enemy sets out to try and destroy us. The enemy sets out to come and fights us, because after a great victory, we are in a different mindset. We are on cloud nine. But that's the time when we really need to be careful. That's the time when we really need to be watchful. That's the time when we must be fully alert, because that's the time when the enemy tries to throw us off, to put fear in us, to cause us to run away. This was the case with Elijah, the man of God, the prophet of God. He had great victory, but now he had great testing. So the Bible said that he ran away, he went for his life, and he came to Beersheba, which belongeth unto Judah. And the Bible said after that, he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat under a juniper tree and requested for himself that he might die. He asked God to take his life because he was now in fear of the woman Jezebel, that wicked witch, that wicked woman had threatened him, and he was now in fear. So he went a day's journey into the wilderness, into the desert, and the Bible said he sat under a juniper tree. The juniper tree experience is an experience where you're discouraged, where you are fearful for your life. The juniper tree experience is a low experience. The juniper tree experience is an experience where you feel sorry for yourself, when everything seems to have come upon you which you didn't bargain for. We must be careful of the juniper tree experience after a great victory. However, God, who is faithful, will not leave us alone. He will not leave us in despair. He will always come to our rescue. Elijah went to sleep under the juniper tree. He felt sorry for himself. But in that moment, the Bible said that the angel of the Lord came and touched him and said unto him, "Get up and eat." And verse 5 says, as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, then an angel touched him and said unto him, "Arise and eat." Verse 6 says, and he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and lay down again. Even this is a miracle in itself, because he was in the desert, and the angel of the Lord baked a cake. An angel cake? That must be wonderful. And a cruse of water. He got up, he ate, he drank, and he lay down again. That threat of his life was so much on him that he was weak, he was tired. But God, who is faithful, will not leave us in that condition. And verse 7 that tells us that the angel came again the second time and touched him and said, "Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for you." God will always sustain his people. God will always strengthen his people. God will always come to our rescue. When you are faithful for God, if you are faithful for God, God will sustain you. God will see you through. Regardless of the juniper tree experience, God will strengthen you. Arise and eat. Get up and eat. Feed on the word of God. Remember your experiences. Remember what God has done for you. Remember how God has fed you through the 3 years of famine. Remember how God had fed you and kept you by the brook. He gave you ravens' food. Ravens fed you miraculously through the 3 years of famine. The woman of Zarephath fed you through the famine. And now God had fed you under the juniper tree. God has sustained you. Arise and eat, for the journey is great. After a great victory comes great testing. After great testing comes the miracle of the baked cake and the cruise of water. And in that experience, you'll be able to go for 40 days and 40 nights. After great blessings comes great testing. After the juniper tree experience comes 40 days of strength with the provided food of baked cake and a cruise of water. May God bless and strengthen you. Arise and eat, for the journey is great.